Why hello, you amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another reaction video, but with a little bit of a twist. I don't think it's any secret at the moment how much I am loving the new solo leveling anime. I mean, I think everyone is. The original IP has 14.3 billion freaking views, like more than that now. The anime is topping charts all over America, all over Japan. So I'm a little bit excited about today's video. I have been lucky enough to be reached out to by the creators of the new solo leveling RPG Solo Leveling Arise. And the creators have asked me to do a reaction video checking out their cinematic trailer, their in-game cutscenes and gameplay, and also I have been told that when they created this game, they wanted to make sure the game itself stayed as true to the original webtoon as possible. So they even want me to check out some comparisons, side-by-side comparisons of the original webtoon and the game Solo Leveling Arise. So we're going to do that as well today. And I'm a little bit curious about that in particular because I want to see how an RPG can somehow stay true to a webtoon, because those are two different things, so that's gonna be kind of fun to explore. And another thing, they told me that the original voice actors of the anime have done the voice acting for the game as well. So it really sounds like this game was created by true fans of the series who wanted to make sure that it got the love it deserves. So I think saying I'm excited would be a little bit of an understatement. How about we jump into this video and I can finally check out the footage they have sent me. But that's not all though. The team at Solo Leveling Arise also shared with me a unique pre-register link, which you can find in the description of this video, and it'll also be the pinned comment on this video. And if you click that link and sign up for the pre-register, you can get hold of over $150 worth of in-game content for completely free. So all you need to do, click that link in the description or the pinned comment, and when you start playing, you will automatically get legendary artifact sets and an epic costume, which is Sung Jinwoo's chic black costume. You'll also get 2 mana power crystals for each attribute and 100,000 gold to use in-game. And if that wasn't enough, there's also a bonus reward where you can unlock and play as Hunter Jinwoo, who is a bit of a personal favorite choice of mine in solo leveling, if you didn't already. So once again, if you want to get hold of all that extra in-game content for completely free, click the link in the description or the pinned comment on this video. Right, this intro's been long enough already. Let's jump into some reactions to the new RPG of Solo Leveling Arise. Once again, shout out to Solo Leveling Arise for sponsoring this video. Ooh, I love the look of the combat. So this is the cinematic, cinematic trailer. I'm also using this at the moment to look at the gameplay as well, and I'm noticing the controls in the bottom right, which I'm guessing are special abilities, which is something I was curious of how they were going to implement in the game, because obviously Jinwoo has all these special abilities that he unlocks, so I wonder if the game is going to follow something similar in that regard. It looks like it is. It does a really good job at keeping the epicness that the anime is doing. How the fights feel so dark and intense. Oh man, Jinwoo is just him, isn't he? He's just him. This is so cool. Are these 100 hits without getting hit? Is that what we're seeing, like these combos? I love the cuts as well. From gameplay to what almost looks like webtoon.
You are now simply egress.
You gotta love the voice acting as well, haven't you? My word, that was epic. That was epic. If you're gonna make a game based on an anime or a manga or a webtoon, right? More specifically, anime, because the manga webtoon aren't going to have voice actors. You need to make sure you bring in those voice actors, because so many people attach themselves to those voice actors, and when you're playing as these characters, if you don't have them, it is going to suck you out of it a little bit. At least that's my experience of playing these games, but having the original voice actors, I think is really going to enhance the experience big time. I mean, even in that scene, you could tell that's a professional level of voice acting right there. And it was only 3 lines, but you really felt it. That is important. I have no idea what that was, but one word stands out above all. Absolutely freaking epic. Also, the soundtrack was so cool too. they have done a really good job with this cinematic. The combat looks really interesting as well. It looks really satisfying. Something I look for in all of my games is satisfying combat. That's what I want to see. When I'm having these fights and these battles, I want to be experiencing like all the satisfying nature of like combos and dodges and getting like hit combos as well, you know, like that streak going up, which we saw. That's like the satisfying aspect of combat. And it looks like they managed to capture that, and the intensity of the freaking anime, they've just nailed as well. Especially with the transitions between gameplay and like cutscenes. And now I want to check out more of this gameplay. So let's jump into some more gameplay and cutscenes, because this is what I really want to see. The cinematic is good at like leading us in, but I want to see more of the gameplay.
Let's do it.
Where's this? Where's this?
Is this
The
really Hapjeong Station?
Ah, what is this? Episode 4. The Serpent. God, the intros of the bosses is really good.
The dungeon boss.
I'm loving the combat. The dash as well.
Sword's no match. How the hell do I pierce through these scales? I got this.
The leveling up system I'm noticing as well at the bottom of the screen. I'm curious how that's going to play a factor in this game too. Because I feel like leveling up is obviously super freaking important in solo leveling. It's the point of the game. So I'm interested to see how that plays a factor, especially with all the skills we're seeing on the bottom right. I still can't believe Jinwoo even used to look like that. He literally looks like 10 years old. How is that the same Jinwoo? How is that the same Jinwoo? The cutscenes look really good. They remind me of the freaking cutscene there at the end was like freaking animation quality. Very nicely done and thrown in there. Especially with the movements as well. Like the jump onto the snake looked really good. And the movements of the serpent as well. I love like the blood dripping down it. It looked like proper scary. And another thing is like boss intros. Like that's really cool. I mean like you want to walk into a dungeon and be terrified when you see the boss. And I feel like they did a really good job with the serpent here as well. Is it Kasaka? I feel like they did a fantastic job with that. Like coming over the train and just standing in front of you. And then an immediate attack. Just boom, intense. They sent me quite a few other clips of gameplay too. So I want to keep exploring the different combats. Because if we're checking a fight with only one boss, I want to see how different the fights are with other bosses as well. Like, are we going to see similarities, or is the combat going to be different? The way the bosses fight, are they going to be different too? Ah. Look at this thing, man.
I refuse.
You remember 2 seconds ago where I was saying how important a boss's intro was? It needs to be terrifying. If you're playing a game and you're about to fight a boss, you need to be scared. You need to be sitting there terrified at what you are about to see. And this, I'm rewinding. This is how you do it right. Look at this intro. This is where I literally Alt F4 and just give up because I'm so scared, man. Like, look at this. Look at this intro. The music. They did a really good job. They did an amazing job.
I refuse to let myself die here.
Ah, the voice acting is ridiculous as well. Look at this thing. An instant attack as well is always good.
You think I'm going to miss?
Ah, we're getting to see... Ah, I'm noticing. So the level is different now. We're going from level 1 to level 15. In the bottom right-hand corner, there are way more abilities. So it does look like that is going to be a factor. It also looks like you have different character selections. So on the right-hand side, we can see different characters as well that maybe you can tab in and out of as too. So that's interesting as well. But the leveling up, also the outfit change, I'm noticing as well. So it looks like Jinwoo you can get different outfits for because his outfit's changed here. So maybe as you level up, he is actually going to look different like he does in the webtoon, like he does in the anime. And it looks like you're going to be able to unlock different abilities too. This is something I was curious about. you want it to match the experience of the anime as much as possible, right? You want to experience the leveling up of solo leveling.
For a counterattack.
And it looks like they're doing a good job of that. Charging up your abilities. So
too slow.
already I'm noticing, so with the serpent, the attacks were quite slow, right? And I was like, oh, I'm wondering if the attacks are going to be quite slow for all the bosses. But no, that was very particular for the serpent, and it followed sort of how the serpent attacked prior to it. But now with Cerberus, it's attack after attack after attack, and has a completely different pacing and fight style, evasion, everything. It couldn't be more different, which is good. You want diversity in your boss fights. Like Cerberus just not stopping.
To the front.
It's just constant evasion.
Changing the atmosphere.
Jeez. So what was that, like a level? Oh man, come on! I want to see more of that fight. It looked like it had a level up. That's where it ends? That is such a tease. Yeah, like, so Cerberus, like, it got like a level up there. There was like an animation as well. I must admit, the graphics look very, very, very good. I am actually surprised how freaking good they look. The combat and fighting looks really good too. I can't see anything wrong with how it looks. It looks top tier. It looks really, really good. Especially with the way the cutscenes are integrated. Everything's like flows really seamlessly. From the fights to the gameplay to the cutscenes, it all just follows one path. There's no like big cuts here and there that takes you out of the experience. The way they've put this all together, they've done a very, very, very good job. And the last thing I want to check out when it comes to the gameplay is what it looks like when you actually enter these dungeons. Because so far we've only seen like you're already in the dungeon. So I want to check out what happens when you enter these dungeons. I want to have a little look at that. And then this one also I think ties into the cinematic trailer that we checked out too. So this will be cool. We can see the same boss that we saw in the cinematic trailer.
What kind of beast awaits me on the other side of these doors?
God, the bosses are terrifying, aren't they? They are terrifying.
I can't believe he's able to move that fast with armor on.
That is really interesting. So another thing I noticed was the two previous boss fights we saw. They started with like an AoE direct attack where you saw like the red lines on the floor sort of like appear. And I was already wondering, are we going to see that with every boss? Like they immediately start with that attack. And no! Is it Egris? Is that how I say that name? Egris, or I'm guessing that's how you say it. That attack was completely different. Like that running jump. And again, what I mentioned earlier, the way it perfectly, like, seamlessly goes from cutscene to gameplay. Just look at this again. Because this is a cutscene, running, boom, gameplay.
I can't believe he's able to move that fast.
The combat looks really satisfying.
It's different from everyone else. He's stronger than I imagined. It's no use.
I love the way we have the voice acting. Not just in the cutscenes, but also in the fights as well. Ooh. They do a really good job at targeting them as well. The AI looks like pretty well created here.
Time for a counter, an opening.
So we are seeing what a level 80 Jinwoo looks like here, by the way, which I've just noticed. So that is why I'm guessing the figures are also big. But that should also terrify you, considering how slow this boss's health is actually going down.
Destroy them all!
This isn't going to be a game you're going to be able to complete easily, my friends. Look at this. Oh my word, the combat looks so good! Look how everything flows. It looks so freaking satisfying.
I see it all.
Man, they're really teasing us with these. Why do I only get like a minute and a half? Why can I not get the full fights? Why didn't they just send me the whole freaking game? From start to finish, full gameplay. This is ridiculous. Notes to take away from the gameplay. Things that have stood out to me. First thing, the seamlessness of when you enter the dungeon, and then you have the boss's reveal, which the entrances always seem absolutely terrifying, which again is what you want. If you're fighting these bosses in any kind of game, you want that entrance to be terrifying. You want to be immediately scared. You want it to catch you off guard. It's an experience that we all hate but love, you know? You want to walk into a dungeon, see the boss, be terrified, hate that we're terrified, but super excited, right? And I feel like we are seeing a really good example of how to do that, because Solo Leveling Arise seems to do a really good job at matching and seamlessly like transitioning from the entrance to the dungeon, then the cutscene to the boss, and then immediately back to the fight. And it never seems like it takes you out of what's happening. It flows really nicely, and the initial fight just comes out of nowhere. So it gives you no time to think. It's like an instant panic. And all three boss fights that we've seen follow that same sort of order and line, and I think it does a really good job at that. Another thing that really stood out to me was the initial combat as well. The combat looks really well animated and well done, well programmed. It looks very, very nice. Like, it's visually pleasing. Graphically, it looks beautiful. The movements of Jinwoo, the character, and the bosses have all been done very nicely. Even the dungeons look very nicely done. Like, again, very beautiful, very immersive. The graphics are fantastic. But the combat just looks so much fun. Very fast paced, a lot of different combos. It doesn't like you're just button mashing. It seems like you have so many different moves. Honestly, watching it, I didn't feel like I was seeing the same move twice. It felt like everything was different, and you could see that with the amount of different special abilities that were showcasing in the bottom right as well. So we really do feel like we're having just this actual realistic fight. You know, not like just like a one sword swipe over and over again, an actual realistic fight. Which again, I really want. I really want. This video may be sponsored, my friends, but I'm telling you right now, you wait. When I'm playing this game on the stream, that isn't going to be. And that is going to be just because of how much fun this actually looks. It looks really, really good. So, the last thing that they told me to make sure I checked out, and I'm pretty excited about this, and this is going to be something that I feel like all of you who have read the webtoon are going to be even more excited about. But the reason I'm excited about this is because I don't understand it. So I'm curious to see how they've done this. How they've managed to stay true to the source material, capture images in the game that are from the webtoon itself. Again, this crazy popular webtoon, Solo Leveling. How they have done that, I am really, really curious to see how they've done that. But they wanted to make sure they stayed true to the source material. And again, that is even why that with the anime, they brought in the original voice actors. The love that has gone into creating this it's just plain to see. Like, it really is. So this, seeing the comparisons between the webtoon and the game, this is something I'm really curious to see how they've actually done. So let's check out some of the footage. I think. Alright, that was way too short, but you can easily see how well they have done here. You can just tell immediately how much love has gone into this. The side-by-side comparisons are ridiculous. They are shot for shot taken from the webtoon, and they have been animated beautifully for this game. There's more as well I want to check out. You can really see how much attention to detail has gone in animating the game to match the source material. Oh my word. Look at this! One thing I want to play again on this part is just the intro of this boss. I feel like they've made a point of doing this, and it's something I've definitely seen. It's definitely like a uniform I've seen throughout all of the gameplay we've checked out today. The boss entrances are terrifying. Look at this! This could not be more scary. You actually serious? You're playing a game and then this is the entrance? The job they have done at matching the original source material to the game, no one does that anymore. No one does that anymore. The amount of love that has gone into this. you can already tell this is going to be so good. I honestly feel like you could have sold me on that alone. You could have sold me on those 2 words alone. Those 2 statements alone. And I would have already been signing up to play this game. All you needed to say to me is there is a solo leveling game coming out. It's an RPG. I would have been like, okay, you have my interest already with that statement. They're using the original voice actors. Very interesting too. Which, by the way, I feel like I should have mentioned. I'm going to mention it right now. When I say the original voice actors, I know we checked out the English version of this. They use the original voice actors across the board. So the Japanese voice actors are also in this as well. Because I'm British, we use the English ones for this. So yeah, that gave you even more excited. I don't blame you. So we have the voice actors being used in this game. And then the creators of the game itself. Again, this is something you don't usually see when it comes to video game adaptations of like anime movies or anything like that, or books, right? Something you don't usually see is to stick to the source material. You don't see it. And Solo Leveling Arise were like, right, if we're making a solo leveling game, what's the one thing we should do? Stick to the source material. And they could have easily have stuck to the anime. No, they stuck to the freaking original IP webtoon source material. And to the point where you could do side-by-side comparisons. No one does that. That is ridiculous. That shows the dedication and love that's gone into this. They have these terrifying freaking openings to these boss battles. You enter this dungeon, immediately you're just sitting in your chair, shaking, putting your controller down and just stepping away. But then when you finally gain the courage to pick your controller back up, you're just sucked into this intricate and complicated battle. You know, it's not button mashing. It's not the same 2 moves over and over again. It's this complicated, you're going to have to learn to fight the boss battle. With different special abilities and different controls, different attacks, different movements, different defense mechanisms, different arenas, and each boss fights a different way. That's what you want. That is what you want. A complicated, solo leveling, immersive experience. That is what you want. Oh my, what? They have nailed it. They have nailed it. And they've only drip fed me the footage here. I need more. I need to see so much more. They have nailed it. They have nailed it. To take the original property and recreate it into a game, amazing. To have these incredible cutscenes that seamlessly just fit into the gameplay as well, that is so important. Cutscenes can so easily take you out of the gameplay, but to have them literally feel like you're never leaving the gameplay. Like the cutscenes click into each fight. You walk into the dungeon, cutscene plays. The second that cutscene ends exactly where the fight begins. Like, it's seamless. And we saw that. It's so good. And to have these incredible original voice actors part of the series as well, I don't think they could have done a better job. They have nailed this. Absolutely nailed this. The animation quality looks fantastic. It doesn't look like a video game. It looks like a damn anime in certain scenes. It looks so good. Everything looks so dynamic, like in terms of the world as well, in terms of the scenes that you're actually fighting in. It looks incredible too. It's hard to focus on what's going on around you because I'm just sucked into these crazy fights. It looks so good. It looks so good. It looks so good. Well, I'm definitely going to be playing this game, and I cannot wait to play it. And hopefully, I'm imagining a lot of you watching this are feeling the same way as well. So, if you are feeling the same way, and you do want to play Solo Leveling Arise, well, that's going to be pretty easy. I can tell you how to do that right now. Don't forget, like we said at the beginning of this video, if you want to make sure you can get hold of extra in-game content, if you want to get Jinwoo's Black Sheep costume, if you want to get 100,000 gold, if you want to get 2 mana crystals, you want to play as Jinwoo as well, if you want to get all that extra in-game content worth over $150, then all you need to do, click the link in the description, click the link that is in the pinned comment on this video, and sign up for the pre-register, and you can get all of that when you start playing. Once again, I just want to say a massive thank you to Solo Leveling Arise for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys are all as excited about this game as much as I am. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, my friends, you right there will see me in the next video.